Hey, thanks for hanging out with me here for a bit today. Today, I want to talk about the impact of just making some small, tiny changes in your business. All right, so I am going to minimize this, and let's say that this is your current situation. These are some small numbers just for the sake of our example here. But say you got 150 leads that come into your business in a given time period. Call it a year, call it 6 months, whatever, and say you close, a third, 35% of those calls. Your average sale is $5,000. That gives you a total sale of 262.5. And if you're getting a gross profit of 40%, that leaves $105,000 of gross profit left over for you to pay the bills, meaning your salary, overhead, marketing, all that other good stuff. Let's say all those overhead costs are $100,000. That leaves you with a $5,000 net profit, which is 1.9% of the sales. All right. So, depending on what your business looks like and all that other stuff, that could be problematic. All right. Take home is what I mean after this is your profit as the business owner to do what you want. You could reinvest back into the business. You can, buy a race car, whatever the heck you want to do with that, you can. So, just coming over here, let's see what the situation looks like if you just make a couple percentage point changes. Let's call it an average of 5%. So 10% of 150 is 15. Let's say we get 8 more leads, so half of that. So 158 leads. Let's say we're able to bump that closing rate up to 40%. And you can do that through just good content and a good experience, creating a good sales funnel for people. So instead of 52 new clients, you're going to have 63. And the average sale, if you had 5%, would be 52.50. So if you could bump your prices up, if you could do a little more upselling out on the job site and things like that, your revenue jumps pretty significantly just from a couple of these changes here. Here's where it gets interesting. If we can raise your gross profit from a 40 to a 45%, that means what it's costing you, what's left over after you produce the work out in the field, you're going to have 149 grand left. Okay, and if you have that same overhead amount that we looked at, look at the difference of money in your pocket at the end of the year. Okay, so this is just a 5% swing. Okay, you don't have to double your leads. You don't have to double your closing rate. You don't have to double your job size. You don't have to have this massive improvement in every little area to have a pretty decent change here. You got a 12.5% change in profit, or 12% more points roughly than you did before. So you got 50 grand here in your pocket. You got, well, there it is, doofus. 44 grand left over instead of 5, or a difference of that. So that's not a bad thing, bad outcome for this. All right. Check this out. If you're a larger business, all right, and you're doing this, again, your sales are here. Your overhead's going to be a couple $100,000. Oops. Don't you guys love this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. All right, you get 10 grand left. If I bump this up to 315, my job size. All right, look at that, almost 100 grand. So if you're a $500,000 company now, roughly, and you make some changes like this, it's going to put another 100 grand in your pocket at the end of the year. So anyway, hope this helped just give you some vision for where you can take your business in the coming weeks and months here as you're planning on your new year and setting your goals and things like that. So I'm all for big goals and all that stuff, but make sure that you are focusing on those little things so that in turn the big things take care of themselves. We'll see you next time. Motor hard.